1 minute SMT or change in state, higher time frame or lower time frame change in state, seeing what's respecting, then we can get it noted. So right now we just gotta wait. Not much to do, guys, but 4 minutes until equity's open. Yo, what's good?
What's good?
Morning.
Good morning.
Do. Also, guys, Ethan's live as well, so feel free to check it out. Our voices will be on both.
I'm pretty sure everyone's just in both of our streams. Like if they're in your stream, they're probably in my stream.
Yeah, probably. Also, thanks for. I didn't really mention it because I don't really have my notifications on, but thanks for the new subs, guys. It's actually crazy. I went from 0 to like 40, like 40 something in
Yes, sir.
like a week. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys can find some sort of value out of this, and any feedback would be appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Also, let me know if the quality is good. I turned up the quality quite a bit, so hopefully it's nice.
Me too. I did the same thing. Let me check your stream real quick.
Yeah, so it should be 1080p now. I hope.
Yeah, but it's. I think it's about your bit rate.
Yeah.
So did you up your bit rate? 6K.
Yeah,
Okay,
6K,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better now. Like significantly better.
I will bet.
Let me check my channel real quick. It should also be a lot better.
Damn, bro, I was making calls while it was blurry. Dang. Whatever.
Mine is still like a little blurry, which kind of sucks, but oh well. I'll fix it eventually. What's your bias and narrative? I'll break it down in a second here. I am leaning bullish overall. Previous week high looks good.
Oh, lit, we're aligned. Cool.
Okay. I need to find your stream so I can read your chat.
If people are tuning in on my stream looking for my bias, well, first thing, it's also similar to Ethan, and he's about to go over his, so you can just listen to that, or you can go back into the stream.
Am I not subscribed to you?
Oh, that's crazy. I think you're subscribed on a different account.
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed on a different account. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll just break down my pre-market plan. Overall, I'm just looking for higher prices, to be honest. 90-minute chart wise, we did just take out external range liquidity high. However, because previous week high is so close, I just want to see what price does at equities open. If we can push up into previous week high, then I'll see what price wants to do for previous week high. Otherwise, I'm just going to be looking for that long setup if we get like a 5-minute or 15-minute, which we have a 5-minute SMT right now. So if we get a change day delivery, I'll probably take a stab here. So we got equities open now. See what it wants to do. My risk would be something around like 5 micros.
Let's see how this goes. If we get a 5-minute change of state, I'm in.
Yeah, same. Currently on my longest losing streak, I'm losing confidence on my entries and ability to find bias. Any tips on when you're consistently losing and having a bad month? Honestly, it really just comes like I've been through losing streaks, and I'll still have those days where I'm like, can I even trade? Should I even trade? Like, I should just give up. But like the reality of it is like, I feel like you just need to go back in your journal and look at when you were winning and like see what you were doing differently. Because the only reason why you struggle with confidence is because you're constantly relating the current moment to your past events, which is the opposite of what we need to do. We just need to detach from that. So my best advice is either just take a break and review your journals, and then every single day, after a market, this is something I do every single day, is look at price in hindsight and see what the best setup within your model is on the day. If you played the day absolutely perfectly, what would today been like? And then number 2 is, once again, you just take a break if you really need to. I've done that before. Sometimes you just burn out, and if you feel like you're not aligned with the market, sometimes you just got to step away. When you come back, it becomes a lot clearer to you. But good news is that the fact that you're feeling that struggle means that you're growing. What are we looking for? I'm looking for previous week high overall. I want to see previous week high because it is equal highs, and that's the trade I'm in from yesterday. So I would like to see continued higher prices from like a 5-minute SMT. Right now we do have a 5-minute SMT. A change in state delivery would probably get me into this trade. That's about it. I'm just looking for higher prices, to be honest. So let me just calculate how many points this would be. If I did enter, let's say here, 30 points. Okay. I'd probably do like 4 micros here. My losing streak changed after I learned about time frame alignments. Yes, but no at the same time. Like, it's very important to learn to trade the context of price, not patterns. But at the same time, like, no matter what model you use, you're going to go through those losing streaks. Oh, also another very important thing, Aaron, is you want to identify, is your losing streak because of your mental, your psychology? Is it because of your risk management? Or is it because of your model specifically? Right? So you have that's why journaling is so important, because it allows you to identify, is it your risk management suffering right now? Is it your psychology suffering right now? Or is it your trading model that is suffering right now? Because if you're trading your model that's suffering right now, there's nothing to worry about at all. It's just the probabilities. It is what it is. But if it's your psychology, there's something you can do about that.
Let's wait for this closure.
Four micros. Actually, I'm gonna do 3 micros just to be safe here. I don't want it to like randomly pop and then slip me.
That would be seriously unfortunate.
See, something like that, if it just slipped me. Okay, looks like I'm doing 2 micros. Alright, I'm in. 2 micros, stop loss at the chain state delivery low. Below this candle low, which is the change in state delivery. I'm going to be targeting previous week high, which is going to offer 1R, which is not a lot. So I'm going to watch how price develops. I'm not going to have a hard TP, but I'm going to see how price develops through previous week high. If it's able to displace through previous high, then I'll start trailing. Otherwise, I'll just be pretty much watching this. Like, there's nothing else. I'm in. I'm just going to watch this now. You still trade quarterly theory? Yes. I don't necessarily trade quarterly theory, but I do use time-based liquidity SMTs. So I guess in a way, yes. But for the most part, it's usually just, for me, it's ranges and SMT. But I guess like ranges could translate to market structure. I'll just say I trade market structure and SMT. So just see if Nasdaq is able to follow YM and ES here. I can add the change state delivery annotation back just so it's a little clear for you guys why I entered. Either to use a LLC or S corp for your taxes. I'm in Canada, so I do incorporation. But it's pretty much LLC. Yeah, it's pretty similar.
All right, cool.
This is gonna be a repeat of yesterday where YM and ES just send it, and NQ's just gonna chop up. But yesterday, to be fair, like NQ just waited for ES and YM to catch up. Once it did, it just started pushing, but it was pretty choppy because all volatility was gone by that point.
Yeah, extremely choppy. See if we can push past these highs. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I just want to see what price does at previous week high. Like if it just drops like a rock, that'd be crazy.
There's so many highs though. There's so many wicks up here.
Yeah.
So ideally, I'd like to see it taken out, but you know, it can do whatever it wants.
I gotta. Actually, I'm gonna type this out so no one's confused what I'm doing. Trade 1 ongoing, open TP eyeing previous week high. There we go. I'm gonna see what price wants to do at previous week high. I personally don't really take, I don't take partials anymore. I used to, but I stopped because I realized like I rather just manage my full trade. Because if I got stopped at a trailing stop loss, it's gonna be the same as taking a partial and getting stopped out. You know what I'm saying? So I usually just let it run. And sometimes I've been practicing adding to my positions. Like yesterday, I added to my long, which turned my turned a potential like a 3R trade into a 4R trade because I added.
Yo, I was actually so confused for a second. You know how top step.
So this is previous high. Oh, sorry. Let's.
Oh yeah, yeah, just do your question.
So we've just tapped into previous week high. I want to see if price is able to displace through this level. I think I'm probably gonna go ahead and move to break even. And the reason why I'm moving to break even here is because we just tapped into this liquidity level, right? So if price is truly bullish, I'd want to see price really push through this level and then hold from it. Otherwise, I don't really want it to dance back down into this level. If it does do that, then potentially I can look for a re-entry. But other than that, I'm just gonna do this to protect myself overall. Sorry, what are you gonna say, Elijah?
Oh, I said like you know how on top step we have just daily maximum loss limit. I forgot
Yeah.
like it resets because like the end of the day. So I was like, wait, how did I lose money from the previous day? And that tripped me out.
Yeah.
It's like, am I on the right accounts? What is this?
tag the target from yesterday's trade, which is going to be previous high. And on top of that, that's why I'm like gonna be very careful with this long I just took, because if we're gonna push through it, I'd like to see price just really start pushing through, leaving gaps behind. This is the only AM session volatility, so if it's gonna push, I feel like it's gonna be now, pretty much, unless it's waiting for PM session.
Okay, cool.
Just stopped out in profit plus 74. Honestly, my wins aren't covering my losses. I think in that case, you just need to let your winners run, to be honest. Because you... Let's see. Because to be honest, like, I feel like there's no reason. Were you using the 1 minute chart? Is that why?
Oh, the 4 hour is actually about to close. Let's see.
Yeah, so if you're using the 1 minute, I suggest that you just go up to the 5 minute or 15-minute chart. It makes it a lot easier to manage your trades. 1 minute chart, usually you'll have scenarios like this where it's like, oh, I want to trail to this fair value gap, but it digs back into it. It just gives you a lot more false signals. On an intraday level, like 5 minute, 15-minute is going to help you become more patient. It's going to give you better confirmations, give you better ideas. But once again, it just comes down to like top-down analysis, right? If like right now, technically in my mind, I'm trading the 90-minute chart right now, the 6-hour chart right now. In my mind, I'm always thinking of that. I'm just simply on the 5-minute chart, entering based on a refined entry. Does that make sense? So right now, it's like on the 90-minute chart, what can price do? Well, we just traded into previous week high. I'd like to see it push through it if it's truly bullish. That's why I'm looking for that push through previous week high. And that's why I'm protecting myself now, because this is where people are taking their profits. Majority of people are probably taking their profits at previous week high right now. So it's either they're taking profits or their stop loss is being hit, which is why I move stops to break even. Oh, let me type it out. Okay, so Aaron, I think the fact that you're asking me that is an indication that your trading plan is not solidified. So just to update you guys, I got stopped at break even here. That's completely fine. I might have another trading opportunity here. If not, then that's fine. But let me address what your question is really telling me, Aaron, is that you asked me, do you think I could re-enter at the macro? But the question is, like, if you were running your own business, if you were running your own business, right? Why do you think it's a good idea for me to tell you, yes, you can enter? Like, yes, take the trade, right? Because at the end of the day, if I tell you that and you actually press the button, I'll be the one running your business, not yourself. So it's very important to have a solidified trading plan. So what is your plan? Like, if I were to ask you honestly right now, what is your plan? Before you even got to the chart today, what was your plan? Okay, I'm gonna delete this position tool because I already got stopped at break even. %, Aaron. And I get it because I do it too. Sometimes I'll chase a dollar amount too. 100% I understand that. But at the end of the day, the only thing that will give you long-term success, long-term consistency that you're seeking right now, that you want so badly, the only thing that will give you that is if you have a solidified plan that you can follow every single day that you're approaching the market. That's the only thing that can give it to you. Maybe you'll hit a lucky trade here and there, gambling, but at the end of the day, if you gamble, you're building bad habits. You're just going to gamble it away at the end of the day. Right? So until you can tell me the criteria of your trading plan, what is your framework for a trade? What tells you to get into the trade? What tells you to get out of the trade? What tells you to manage your trade? What tells you that your trade's been invalidated? Until you have a solidified trading plan that covers aspects like that, what is your risk management plan? How much are you supposed to risk per trade? How many trades are you supposed to take per day? Until you have something like that, you can't build consistency because you have no foundation to build that consistency on. That makes sense? And I know I'm like kind of drilling you right now, but this goes for anyone. Like just generally anyone. Where have you been? Are you doing? I've been doing good. For the most part, to be honest, I've been procrastinating on the free community. Can't lie. But now I'm back. I'm glad I got out at break even. All right, let's see what's next. Right now, I don't have any other model to really use. I see that we have previous high, we have previous day high. I'm pretty sure we have previous day high. Almost. We'll see, dependent on the candle closure. But right now, it's looking like we have previous day high as well. This could be pretty bearish. But I don't have a lower time frame confirmation, such as London high or a 5-minute high SMT to confirm an entry. So probably until 10:30, and even at 10:30, I want to see a sweep of this high. So I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any more trades today, but I'll stay until 10:30 anyways, just to answer your questions and everything. And this is also very important. Is just sitting on your hands. Like I recognize my model's not here. I'm not going to do anything. I got stopped at break even. I'm lucky I got out today without any paper cuts. One hour change to delivery enough to start looking for shorts for you. It would be like right now it's enough to give me short ideas, but I don't have the SMT that I'm looking for. If we had a 5-minute SMT on the high, if we had a 15-minute SMT on the high, then yes, I could go for that, but as of right now I don't have that. So yo, Elijah, you still there?
Yeah, I just
Oh, my bad.
definitely a couple times to talk.
Oh, okay, sorry, that's my bad, bro. I be
No, no, you good,
ranting.
Yeah, you good, you good. I just got stopped. It's chill. I did not go stops to break even because it just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
See, you see, but here's a great example. Elijah didn't move to break even because he knew it was part of his plan not to do it. For me, it was part of my plan to do it. Do you see? Do you see the difference? Like, as long as you have a plan, you follow it. Long-term consistency will come, but you just have to stick to one thing. You have to be able to stick to one thing. If you keep hopping around strategies, if you keep looking for new things, It just won't work. Just find one or two things that resonate with you, stick with it for a long enough time, and you'll become really good at those two things that allow you to become profitable, as long as you have good psychology, that is. Also, risk management. But if I were to list out the importance of the three things everyone talks about, I would say risk management is the most important, because risk management is what allows you to actually trade the market and stay alive in the market. Two would be technical analysis, because technical analysis will allow you to build a plan. And number three, honestly, I think the least important thing is psychology. And the reason why I say that is because psychology is often just, I want to say it's a discipline issue. It's like, are you following your plan? Right? So, but also it's still very important. Don't get me wrong. But I just think it's the least important of the three. Because once you have a very solid risk management foundation, once you have a very solid trading plan, your psychology will naturally want to gravitate towards being disciplined in your plan. And that's my opinion.
This 4 hours about to close very bearish.
Yeah, but no matter what, like, I don't have a trade here.
Yeah.
I mean, are you using the same model I'm using?
Right now, yeah. Or like
Okay,
what I'm
yeah.
looking for, yes.
Yeah, okay, so it's basically impossible. It's an early day. I made $3 today.
Oh, dang.
Multiplied by 5 accounts, bro.
That's a lot.
That's
of
a
McChickens.
meal. That's what I'm saying. It's a meal.
That's a lot of McChickens, guys.
Man, I feel so locked in right now. It's the streams. Bring the streams back.
Bro's talking to himself.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel locked in.
Bring the streams back. Yeah, it's nice.
Or maybe
you're like focused on tape reading and stuff too.
Yeah.
So it feels like for me.
Instead of playing Brawlhalla and making
And tilting more.
more jokes and yeah, egging each other on. Gamble. 100% Aaron. Oh, there's 2 Aarons in chat, by the way. So, if you guys don't know, Io is also Aaron. But Aaron, like the Aaron St. Clair, like, are you still here? If you are, like, does that make sense to you though? Like, I know I just went on a rant, but does that make sense? Great. I appreciate that too. For your honestly, I appreciate like you guys trusting me to give you guys that kind of advice. Like it's also like yeah, I thank you guys for that. Very grateful. Man, I feel like it's just gonna dope, but there's no way to get in. A 100%, Aaron. I think it just comes down to like when it comes to psychology, it really just comes down to like for me, I'm religious. So connecting with God and trying to build a closer relationship with God has really helped me in my psychology. Um, but I think it's just understanding that good trading is just simply boring. And what does that mean? It just means you're following every day, you show up at the same time pretty much, or whatever time you're supposed to show up, and you simply follow a set of rules. That's what trading is. And if you want anything more than that, that's when it becomes gambling, right? Just because your edge didn't pay you today doesn't mean it won't pay you tomorrow. Just because your edge didn't pay you tomorrow doesn't mean it won't pay you the day after that. But the only way you can achieve that success that you want, that consistency, once again, is by firstly giving yourself a set of rules to follow, right? And understanding, like, if you feel any anger, revenge, frustration, it's all natural, but you have to understand that you are basing all of these emotions, like you're allowing probabilities to play with your emotions, and you have to recognize that at the end of the day, it's a probabilities game. Your rules dictate how probable your trade is going to hit, but at the end of the day, it's just a probability. Don't let a statistic or a singular trade, which is once again just a probability, dictate your self-worth. Any advice for on the model that you shown in one of your videos named this ICT model got me over 400? I don't really have much. I think all the advice I have, it's like it's already in the videos, but like to simplify everything, just focus on market structure and SMT, which is also market structure / ranges and SMT. Like that's all I use, and that's everything. Everything I've taught is my model, ranges, SMT, or market structure, SMT. Like I just ask myself every day when I get to a chart, is price, I start from higher time frame. So higher time frame, is price going from inefficiency to liquidity or liquidity to inefficiency? Is price going from liquidity to liquidity? Like those are the two questions I ask myself. Go to the intermediate term time frame, I ask myself the same thing. Okay, my higher time frame is going from going from A to B. So how can I align myself with the intermediate term time frame so that it's moving with the higher time frame? So in reality, I'm trading the intermediate term time frame. So let's say my higher time frame is daily chart. My intermediate term time frame is a 90-minute chart or the 1 hour chart, either one you want to use. Well, in my mind, then for that day, I'm always keeping at the back of my head. I understand, like I'm trading the 90-minute chart right now. Even though I'm on the 5-minute chart right now, I know what the 90-minute chart looks like right now. This is what I'm really trading right now. Which is why at previous week high, for example, today, I wanted to see a push higher because my intermediate term time frame, if it was truly bullish through a buy side liquidity pool, I want to see a push through it, right? All I'm doing on the lower time frames, the 15-minute and 5-minute chart in this case, all I'm doing here is I'm simply just trying to look for a earlier confirmation from a good area or key level on the intermediate term time frame. So if I have a 90-minute fair value gap, for example, oh, this is a cool key level. So I'm going to drop down to the 5-minute and be like, do I have a good confirmation here that could give me a better RR potentially? And that's all I'm doing on the 5-minute, 15. I'm just refining my entries. But what I'm truly trading is a 90-minute chart. Does that make sense? So I guess that's the advice I would give on my model is you're trading the middle time frame, not the lower time frame. The higher time frame gives you context. The middle time frame is what you're truly trading in alignment of that higher time frame. And then any lower time frames that you use, all those are doing is simply confirming price for you within a middle time frame key level. What do you think of PA this year? I think it's definitely been a little trickier because of consolidation, but for the most part, it's been pretty good. Like the start of this year was really good for my model. and then the month of May started getting like, I think there was a full week of May where I just like suffered because price just consolidated for like a whole week. I forgot where it was. I'm pretty sure it's this right here. And then until we got like a sweep of liquidity, that's where I started aligning myself with price again. I don't think it was here. Where was it? Oh wait, it was here. Yeah, this week right here. The second week of May? Yeah, second week of May. Oh, sorry, it was the third week of May. My bad. I need something to drink. All right, Elijah, take over. I'm gonna get some water.
All right. I mean, I don't know. I have nothing to say, guys. Similar as before. You know, pretty similar ideas, but while I was saying on my stream, I kind of just deafened and muted to say it, but I wouldn't be looking for anything until at least one of the assets take out previous session low. That would be ideal. It'd also be below Asia, so if one of the assets take out previous session low with 15-minute SMT, we would want to see either some sort of lower time frame, 5-minute or 1-minute SMT to confirm for an entry, or some sort of change in state delivery paired with the sequential SMT.
I'm back.
So that's pretty much, I'm not sure if Ethan said that, but it's pretty much probably similar idea. If that doesn't show up, then I have nothing.
I assume you're just going over what you're looking for to enter a trade.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said I'm hands off until probably at least previous session low is taken on at least one of the assets.
Yo, you know what I found out? Ruth's car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her car was $9,000.
Oh damn, that's such a good deal.
2 years ago. So in 2022, she bought a 2017 Honda Civic for $9,000. That's actually insane.
Yeah,
I thought it was like 18K. Right? Yeah, I thought it was 18K.
Yard, what a deal.
Yeah, right. It's actually crazy.
Honestly, Honda Civics are hella expensive nowadays.
I don't know how my dad does it. He always finds these deals, man. His Toyota Corolla was $6,000, and resale value was like $13,000.
Gotta dig it up.
As you said, that model gives around 70 to 80% win rate. First question, how many trades does that model give in a week average? Second question, which would be better trade, Forex or futures? So honestly, it was 70 to 80% win rate, but over the span of like this year so far, my win rate is honestly not that great. Like, if I'm being completely transparent with you guys, my win rate is like more so like 40% this year so far. And or just, I guess, my model's win rate this year so far has been like 40%, but it's been averaging a return of like 4.5R, which is really good. But one thing about my model so far this year is a lot of that average RR, because it's high, but those average RRs come from like winners that run so far this year. So it's like you'll have plus 2R, minus 1R, minus 1R, minus 2R, and plus 4R, minus 2R, minus 1R, plus 3R, plus 4R, minus, and then you use minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, and then you get like a plus 0.5R, you get a plus 0.2R, and then a lot of like, it's a lot of dancing around break even, and then you'll just get like one day out of maybe like 2 or 3 days out of the month that give you like 10 to 15R out of nowhere, and that's like what sends the equity curve. So for the most part, it's kind of just been surviving with the model and then just waiting for that one big trade to come in. Yeah, 100%, Aaron. But you know what you can do? Because the market, like, just because you're going a losing streak doesn't mean you lost it, right? Once again, that struggle you're feeling is just a sign of growth that's happening within you. So, yes, like right now, you feel like you're in a losing streak, and that might be true. But try to shift the perspective a little bit. Instead of being like, oh, I'm really struggling right now. I feel like I've lost it. I can't do it anymore. Instead of thinking like that, be like, okay, right now, yes, I'm going through a lose streak. It sucks. And I know it sucks. But what can I do about it? I'm going to go back to January, February, my journals from January, February. What did I do differently? What was happening here that allowed me to be profitable, allowed me to be unprofitable now? Compare the two. That's why your journals are there. It's very important you do your journal reviews, right? And so you can figure out, like, statistically, what allows you to be profitable. Is it just simply trading beginning at 9 a.m.? Is it simply like waiting for equities open to pass and then trade? Like, a statistic like that is very simple to track. It's like, what time did I take this trade at? Okay, so I see like majority of my winners are occurring between 9 and 10. So I'm just going to strictly trade between 9 and 10. And just like that, you've eliminated so many of your losses. Does that make sense? So just shift the perspective. It's not about how much it sucks. It's about how much can you learn right now. And it sucks to think that way. I mean, it doesn't suck to think that way, but it sucks to go through this. I'll say that. Because I was literally going through a 2-week loss streak in front of a live audience. And in my position, I was like, I'm supposed to be teaching people how to trade. How can I go through a 2-week loss streak? And like behind the scenes, you don't see it, but Elijah's like my closest friend. So I'll be ranting to him. I'm like, do I even deserve to teach anymore? I can't even get a winning trade. I've been going 2 weeks through a loss streak. Like, right? So it happens to all of us. We're all human. But it's just about what we do during times of suffering, times of doubt. Like, what do we do to learn from it, or we can bounce back? Does that make sense? If you want to say anything at all, Elijah, feel free to. I feel
Oh
like I'm
yeah,
just.
I mean, if you're confident in your system, there's nothing to worry about. All right. Um, what I've been using, like what I've shown and proven to myself, like through my, if I go through my calendar, right, I've gone almost 3 weeks of losing, right, and though some of the losses could have been avoided, I will say that. So the statistics are skewed, right? So technically, I shouldn't. Um, technically, on average, I shouldn't be losing 3 weeks every day in a row, right? But I had that, and I had risk management, and I had um, that's all I had. All I had was risk management. Uh, my patience and things wasn't the best, so that's what kind of led to that. Um, a lot of other small errors like not taking base hits, getting greedy, really getting to the core of the issues, right? Um, but then all you need is 1 or 2 wins, and then you'll slowly build it back up, right? And if you trust in your system, um, then it shouldn't you shouldn't be losing for too long. If you lose so much where it just blows your account and you're following risk management, then there is something wrong with how you calculate it out, like how much risk you're risking, or maybe your RR you're aiming for, or like how your model presents itself, right? So you'd have to, if it's a technical issue, then thank goodness that's easier thing to fix. um, but it usually does come down to like greed, pride, impatience. Impatience was a big one for me. Sometimes I'd be taking trades uh, like before equities open, and I tell myself, "Oh, let's wait for equities open," and I still take something, and then it's just stupid, right? Um, so yeah, I think just if you have a system you trust, and don't worry about it. I'm very confident you'll get out of the drawdown, and yeah, you got it, man.
Fire.
Enjoy listening.
No, I'm asking too many questions, but I advice from a true trader. What is your opinion on the MXM Trader's universal model? You, no, you guys can ask as many questions as you guys want. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm live. If I didn't want to answer questions, I wouldn't be live.
Not taking
So
base hits is probably the most people do wrong. Yeah, I mean, as long as the base hit makes sense. I don't like doing like fixed R generally, but if it's like a level that is like maybe the first 90-minute cycle high, if you're taking a long or something, then like you could take a partial, take a base hit, and then take stops to break even and no harm, no foul, right?
to be honest, I feel like general advice like that though, like I get it. Taking base hits is good, right?
Yeah.
And you can like, oh, base hit, base hit, base hit, consistency. But general advice like that is typically not the greatest to just throw around. And here's why. For example, in risk management, people are like, just risk 1% of your account. But what is 1% of your account? If I had $1 million in my trading account, would I still risk $10,000 per trade? Yeah. So let's take that back to base hits.
Yeah.
It really just depends. Like everything in trading is so personalized. What is your situation telling you? What is your trading plan telling you? Base hits, good. But what if you let that winner run? Right? So you have to think of it that too. Yes, base hits are good, but don't limit your profits just because I want to make 1 hour today. I just want to consistently make 1 hour every day.
On that, there is a dangerous thought with that though, with like what if, right? And if you start building what if thoughts, it's not necessarily productive to your psyche. But yeah, I think that's in terms of like fixed R though as well. But like I mean like in terms of objectively.
So
like the next draw, closest draw or something like that. Then you can either look to partial or maybe just like I don't know, just keep an eye on it.
For me, it's like once again, it's dependent because for me, I'll have a drawn liquidity that I full TP at, but along the way I trail my stop loss. So it's like whatever the market wants to give me, it'll give me. But that is all based on a plan, right? Something that's repeatable over and over and over and over again. If I realize that my trailing stop keeps stopping me out before, and then my full TP hits after a trailing stops me out, like for sure I'm gonna have to tweak it. But if I don't pay attention to something that's consistent, then I'll never know what is the true cause. To answer your question, by the way, the MXM Traders universal model, I don't 100% remember what it is. I only watch his first course. I'm not sure about his other courses, but
exactly, Jake. What if
his upload? Sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Can you please upload the breakdown videos of the trades you took on your YouTube channel? I'll think about it. But for the most part, I kind of do the trade recap inside the live stream anyway, so. But I'll think of other content to post, honestly. I don't want to do like trade recaps and stuff like that because it's just, I don't want to spam my YouTube channel with a bunch of content like that. I'd rather just leave that for the live streams. So you guys ask me questions as I'm recapping. Where's Jason? I have no clue. Man is MIA. He's living life. This losing streak has definitely taught me about risk management. When I was on the winning streak, I was trading too many micros, and if I was trading the same amount, I would have blown my account 100%. So what did Jake say again? A break-even framework has helped me with the what ifs. So it's not a what if, it's just my plan. Exactly, Jake. As long as you're following your plan at the end of the day, you're good. If it's in your plan to take base hits, you're good. Then yes, that's good advice. If it's in your plan to trail your stop loss, then you're good. You can trail your stop loss. If it's in your plan to swing for the fences, move stops to break even, then yes, you're good. You're following your plan. Is it a good plan? I can't say that for sure. That's dependent on the the model you're trading. But as long as your plan is consistent and you're executing it consistently, there's always something that you can rely on, and that is statistics, large sample size statistics, right? And you can refine your trades based on that. Having a data backed edge is very important. Of course, you have to start somewhere, but when you first start, that's the very beginning of you collecting data, right? So, just my thoughts. When do you recap it? At the start of the stream or at the I recap it like pretty much as I'm taking the trade. So it's like, why did I take this? Like right when I took this break even trade, it's like, why did I move to break even? All that. Like earlier, why did I decide to move to break even pretty early? Like to a lot of people, it seems early, right? But it's because we traded into previews with Kai. I know that we're above external range liquidity. So with the 90-minute chart in my mind, at the back of my mind, I want to see price push through it with displacement, because if we're truly bullish through highs, you want to see displacement. If we're bearish through lows, you want to see displacement. So from here, I just want to see price push higher. Didn't really want it to invalidate this fair value gap right here with this breaker block within it, 5-minute unicorn as well. There's just like a lot of confluences that enter my mind discretionarily, and I manage it that way. I only trade New York session, correct. Says you're currently copy trade across 5 accounts. I want to know how much funded it is and how many percent you are risking. So my risk management, I'll tell you, but my risk management, like what I say, should have no effect on what you do, because your plan is different, your situation is different. If I told you I have, let's say, okay, I have $250,000 in funding, right? With TopStep, 5 50K accounts. If I told you that I was risking $1,000 per trade, that gives me 2 trades total. Would you copy that? Because my situation could be different from yours, right? Let's say I ask someone else, what do you risk per trade? And they're like, I just risk the entire account per trade because I can afford to lose this account and just buy a new account, right? So risk management is very dependent on your situation. But you'll always have the numbers just generally thrown around, which is like, oh, just risk 1%. But think about it, you risk 1% on a 50K account. Your real dollar amounts of risk that you're allowed on a 50K account is $2,000 on TopStep. Risk 1% of $2,000. Do you really want to do that? But a general rule I give to developing traders is just divide your account size, like your true account size. Like, so if you're trading a prop firm, it's going to be like your maximum loss limit. That's your true account size. Divide it by 20 and just, that's your risk per trade. And I know it's excessive, but it gives you 20 bullets. You can lose 20 trades in a row and you could still have a chance to bring it back. That's for a developing trader. If you're more experienced and you know what your model statistics are, then you can optimize it around that. But a good starting point is divided by 20. Don't be afraid to ask stupid questions to Ethan. I've asked too many stupid questions in the beginning. Nah, you're good, Crash. Is it monthly cycle Q4? To be honest, I don't really pay attention to that. It's like I don't really be like, oh, because it's Q4, it has to reverse. I don't necessarily look at it like that. I just look at what is market structure telling me right now. What is the context of price right now? And that's what I base my analysis off of. Because you'll have some months they just keep expanding higher and higher and higher and higher, and you'd be like, but it's Q4, it should reverse. I don't think like having a set in stone market profile is necessarily the greatest way to approach a market because it gives you cognitive bias too. It's like the market has to do this if it does that. But the reality is it doesn't. So for me, it's about eliminating the chances of giving myself cognitive bias and being able to adapt. But yeah, just to clarify, Yoshi, I don't really trade the cycles. I more so just trade market structure slash dealing range, and then within those ranges, I trade SMT. Yes, Yoshi. I personally risk 0.5% of $5,000 account and target 2R, but the problem with the model I'm trading is that it only gives 2 to 3 trades per week. That's very good. Like, what's the win rate on it though? But just to answer your question, you're getting 2 to 3 trades per week. Let's say you hit 1 or 2 good trades. You're up, let's say 2R, right? You're up 2%. 2% on the month is actually really good. I generally think like if you want to scale up, then I think it's more so about like if you want to make more money, you have to trade more size. That makes like a larger account. Sorry, not trade more size. But I guess naturally as you scale up, you'll trade more size. If you want to make a lot of money though, you need a bigger account. It's very impractical to have, let's say, $1,000 and expect to make a certain amount of money, right? But that's not to tell you like, oh, you should just buy a bigger account. Just build up your consistency. Like the skill is the most valuable. Like the skill of trading is the most valuable thing you have as a trader, right? No matter how much money you have, if you don't have that skill, you're just gonna blow it. I've been there. Trust me. So start small and start compounding, right? It's compounding effect. Like you have a $5,000 account now. You get 2 to 3 trades per week. Let's say you hit 2% per month. Let's say 2% per month. Very achievable in day trading, in my opinion at least. That's just 1 or 2 winning trades. Then you have $50 or $100 from that withdrawal. So what you can do with that $100 is get a 50K account from TopStep or whatever else, like a 50K account, right? Then you can afford to risk, let's say, $200 per trade, right? And let's say you make 2% of 50,000. So you see where I'm going with this? You start scaling, and then as you scale, you can then begin funneling money from your prop firms to your personal account, and you can grow your personal account from there. And then eventually, let's say you have a 100K personal trading account. Do you really need prop firms anymore? That's up to your own discretion at that point, because they do offer really good leverage. I will admit to that. But personal account sometimes just feels better. There's where you went wrong. You said, I can't scale fast. If your friend in trading told you, I can't scale fast, what would you say to them? If your trading friend, your closest friend, start trading and they're like, this model is profitable, but the problem is I can't scale fast with it, what will you say to them? The only way you can have long-term success is by building good habits and having that consistency. Nothing in trading is fast unless, I guess, you hit like a home run trade or you gamble. I think that's like either or. It's like either your plan, like your trading plan, gave you a home run trade today, so you like suddenly have a jump in equity, or you're just purely gambling and you have these massive fluctuations in your equity curve. Okay. But the thing is, like, no matter what model you have, if you don't have, let's say you don't hit home runs, you don't gamble, your equity curve is going to be very slow and steady, right? So it's not about scaling fast, because even if you had $1 million in the bank, technically, even if you made $20,000, that's 2% of the account. You're not scaling fast either with $1 million account. It's just a perspective of the monetary value that you're looking at now. Does that make sense? You're still scaling at the same pace. It's just they're both still 2%. You're still making 2%. On the 5,000 account you have now, you're making $100. That's still 2%. On $1 million account, you're making $20,000. That's still 2%. So regardless, you're not scaling fast. You just have a larger proportion, I'd say. Larger scale, which makes it feel like you're scaling fast because of the monetary number. Once again, you have to think in terms of percentage, right? You're still making 2%. Does that make sense to you? Okay, this is probably going to be the last question I answer because it's 10:30. Probably going to hop off here, off the stream. But I just want to make sure that that makes sense to you, that I'm not just rambling. Going once, going twice. All right. So as always, if you guys are satisfied with the stream, I would appreciate if you guys typed 1 in the chat. If you have any like criticism or anything, feel free to let me know, and I'll try to improve moving forward. All right. I'm gonna assume no one's listening then. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you all for joining the stream as always. Take care. Take care.